Hello everybody, Peter here, today with the review of a much awaited laptop on this channel, the Lenovo Ideapad L340. So this is a budget laptop and it has good performance for the money that you pay and it has an astonishing design. So I'll go through the design of this laptop first, then we're going to talk some general specs about the laptop, and in the end we're going to see a comparison between this laptop and something that is much cheaper, looks a little bit worse, but performs on the same level and costs less. So let's begin with the design of this laptop. As you can see, Lenovo really tried when designing this laptop, so it's minimalist. As you can see, this is just a plain sheet of aluminum, and it's the only aluminum part on the outside of this laptop. And it might not even be aluminum, it might be plastic, but it fools you, so I'll give it a pass. On the top cover as well, here's the Lenovo logo, engraved in some plastic material, so it won't chip out. It's one solid piece. On the sides, you can see some ports. Well, the charging port, Ethernet, HDMI to USB Type A, a headphone jack and a USB Type-C, and some LEDs for the functioning of the laptop. On the other side, you can have a disk drive, or you can remove this and add a hard drive. I'd recommend adding a hard drive, but some people might use the disk drive, since some people have not moved to flash storage yet and still use disks. On the back of the laptop, you can see the ventilation and the back, which is made out of a hard plastic. I enjoy touching it, so it's a really good surface and it won't scratch so easily. And you can also see the button firing speakers and 4 legs made out of rubber, so the laptop doesn't tip over when you're using it. On the inside, you can see the trackpad, which is really large, so this is gonna be great, since most cases you won't need a mouse. Okay, if you're gaming, you might need one, but if you're doing spreadsheets or stuff like that, this might be enough. A numerical keyboard, that's gonna be great news for people who like to do, well, spreadsheets or do a lot of calculations, or for engineers. And a standard keyboard, but the click is really nice, so it feels premium, it feels powerful. Okay, sorry for the sound. It has entered on Windows, it has unlocked itself since the owner doesn't use a password. Yeah. The screen is 15.6 inches and it has slim bezels on the right and on the left of the screen, but on the top and on the bottom they haven't really quite tried out to slim the bezels down. So they're pretty hefty, but I really hope they have a reason for this, like they've put some great antenna inside, or hopefully it's not because they chipped out, because the main selling point of this laptop is its design. Okay, and now you'll see why I say that the main selling point of this laptop is the design. Performance-wise, for the money, it's okay. But in my opinion, I can find a better laptop at this price point with a dedicated GPU, or I could buy the same laptop at a lower price. Why I'm saying this? For 500 euros, you get a Ryzen 7, which is a great processor, and Vega 10 graphics. So, well, at the same price, you could buy something like an i3 and a dedicated graphics, or an Ryzen 5 and a dedicated graphics. Why have they made this decision? I think they have been cornered out by their own decisions. So the design of this laptop and the feel of the trackpad, the keyboard, the screen has made them cheap out on the hardware side. But at least they included the 250 GB SSD. So that makes the laptop a lot snippier, and it makes you forget about the inconvenience of not having a dedicated graphics. Cool though. I can understand why Lenovo has done this, and well, I'd say they've done a pretty good job. And now it's the big thing about this laptop. You compare it with something that costs 200 euros less, like my laptop. So I'm going to bring this aside and you shall see something. This is my laptop. And it costs 200 euros less. You can find this for 300 to 350 euros, or you can convert it in dollars. And you find this for at least 500 euros, at least. They're kind of the same laptop. This has a Ryzen 5 and this has a Ryzen 7. Of course Ryzen 7 is better, but Ryzen 5 isn't that far off behind. It's basically the same processor, just with a higher clock speed. So unless you're going to do a really intense CPU program, you will not find the difference between those. And actually, this has Vega 8 and this has Vega 10. And you're going to say, hey, Vega 10 is better. Here comes the ugly part. Actually, Vega 8 is better, because the Ryzen 7 heats up a lot more than the Ryzen 5. And the Ryzen 10 and the Ryzen 8 are basically the same video card that is inside there. But because it heats up more, they've lowered down the performance on the video card, while this has a better performance. So it might sound like this is better, but actually this is better when playing games or when doing encoding with your GPU or whatever you can do with the GPU. And okay, this might not look as nice. It's a cheap plastic laptop, but it's a lot easier to carry around. This is 1.5 kilograms. I haven't measured this one, but it looks like it has at least 2.2 kilograms. It's really heavy, and it's a lot bigger. When I'm going to close both of them up, you're going to be able to see how big the difference in thickness is. So the Lenovo laptop is a lot more thicker. And when you consider that you pay more, why would you do that? The only reason I can see it's the design and the fact that it has a Ryzen 7 CPU, so you might feel a little bit more foolproof. But I would much rather go with a cheaper laptop, in this case with my Asus laptop. You can see this on my channel as well. It's an X505ZA. I don't know the prices now on this one, since it has been a long time, but I still think this is a lot cheaper than this. And the last nail in the coffin of this laptop when it comes to performance, and when I say price to performance, I mean the amount you pay for that is a lot higher than the amount you pay on this, but the performance is kind of the same. The last nail in the coffin are the chargers. So this came with my Asus laptop. It's a really small charger. It's as big as a Apple charger from 2 years ago, or even smaller. I have seen phone chargers that are bigger than this. This is the Lenovo charger. This is huge, man. And I know this consumes a little bit more power, but it doesn't justify the difference. Just look at this. And trust me when I say, you don't think it's more than 3 or 4 watts consumed by that one compared to this one. But the difference is huge. Yeah, well, that has been the comparison between the two laptops. Stay tuned, because we're going to go on this laptop and talk a little bit more about it and see how it actually moves when you're inside the laptop. Okay, so we're back and we're going to explore this laptop. Well, this has an SSD, so going through Chrome and stuff like this would be a breeze, as you can see. it opened in basically no time. Let's go and listen to some music so you can see how the speakers sound. So this is a no copyright release. The sound is kind of weak, and I'll try to tune it up. To the maximum, if it wants me to, at least. Okay, it doesn't want to. Yeah, so the button doesn't work. Finally, for a laptop, this is pretty much powerful, but I might say I have seen better speakers on laptops, but I have seen a lot worse speakers. So if you put this on a hard surface, the speakers are firing downwards and the sound is reflecting upwards. So it sounds better, but if you're using it in a bed, well, things are not going to look so good on the laptop. I would much rather prefer the speakers up here. It would have produced a better sound, in my opinion. But, well, this is the experience on going on the internet. It's really fast. So no worries about spreadsheets and internet and stuff like that. And for the last part of this review, I'm going to download and install Cinebench and see how it performs under a real test. So stay tuned for that. For the final test, I have plugged the laptop in, so we don't see any issues because of battery throttling. And let's see how this baby performs. And we'll start with the CPU test. Okay, so the CPU results are now available. So it got 654 points. And now, let's open the GPU test. Enjoy. Okay, so for the video test, we got 50 FPS, closer to 51. So, great results. Nothing to comment on that. And compared to the laptop that I have shown you previously, mine gets about 570 points on the CPU side, so well, this is better. And about 45 FPS on the GPU side. And that's mainly because it has 8 GB of RAM while my laptop has only 4, but I'm planning to upgrade that. So as you can see, not so much big of a difference, and especially if I had my laptop upgraded, this difference would slim even more. So is it worth it to buy this laptop? Sure, it's a great laptop. It's really sturdy, it's hard to break in my opinion since it's really heavy. Mine is a little bit more flimsy. Does it have a great design? Yes, it has. Is it hard to carry? Yeah. That's the main drawback. The size. It's thick and it's heavy. And it costs more. So in the end you have to decide. Do you like to look a little bit more premium? Or you go the cheaper way and get more for your bucks? Thank you guys for watching this review. See you next time and have a great day. Bye.